Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a classic narrative, you know the one, and treating it not just as a bedtime story, but as a literal high-stakes case study in situational awareness. We're going to look exactly at why speaking with strangers hurts. Seriously, we're putting Little Red Riding Hood under a purely tactical lens to grasp exactly why freely sharing intel with unvetted people can absolutely blow up in your face.
So, here's the game plan. We'll start with the inherent danger of strangers, then set the scene, break down the fatal conversation, and watch how the ambush was orchestrated. After that, we'll cover the totally unexpected chili pepper counterattack and wrap up with the ultimate lesson.
Okay, part one, the danger of strangers, and what happens when you ignore the universal rule. The core issue here stares us right in the face. From the source text itself, it gives us this explicit warning. Talking to strangers, especially hungry ones, is dangerous. That's not just a polite suggestion. It's basically the fundamental law for surviving this kind of environment. And as we're about to see, choosing to casually bypass this baseline security protocol, yeah, it triggers a wildly dangerous chain reaction. Moving to Section 2, Setting the Scene. Let's establish our baseline actors and the actual threat landscape. Right, so let's look at our primary subject, Little Red Riding Hood. She is, for all intents and purposes, a completely naive actor. She's just a sweet girl in her signature red cape, right? Her mission is super straightforward. She's tasked with delivering a payload of food to her sick grandma. But here's the catch. She has to travel all the way across the forest to do it. And while she's cheerfully greeting the birds and the squirrels, she's totally got tunnel vision. She's just moving from point A to point B, completely oblivious to her surroundings and the glaring risks of her route. Now, let's contrast that with the hostile environment she's waltzing right into. We've got a highly motivated, hungry predator actively looking for a new food source. Enter the big bad and very hungry wolf. Check out his specific motivations here. He is so sick of his standard squirrel diet, and he literally thinks the local rabbits taste rotten. So he's actively hunting for something, quote, new and yummy. This is a highly volatile mix. You've got an innocent, distracted target wandering straight into the territory of an apex predator looking for an upgrade. Which brings us to Section 3, the fatal conversation, the critical security breach. Just look at the absolute asymmetry of intent between these two. On one side, you have Red's intent. She stops, completely drops her guard, and is just being polite to Mr. Wolf, right? She openly explains that her grandma is sick and needs food. But on the flip side, the wolf's intent is 100% predatory. The second he lays eyes on her, he's evaluating her as very tasty. He totally plays along, feigning this innocent curiosity, saying, oh, it's too bad she's sick, maybe I'll visit her too. But really, he is exclusively gathering intelligence to plan a strike. And here is the fatal error. Red willingly hands over the exact coordinates of a highly vulnerable target to an absolute stranger. She just tells him she lives on the other side of the forest. It's very easy to find. I mean, wow. With just that one polite sentence, she totally destroys her own operational security. This right here perfectly illustrates why speaking with strangers hurts so much. She basically just handed a hungry, motivated predator a GPS pin to an undefended location. All right, Section 4, Orchestrating the Ambush, or How to Weaponize That Intelligence. Armed with that intel from their little chat, the wolf instantly executes a rapid, 3-step tactical trap. The guy wastes 0 time. Step 1, he sprints ahead through the forest straight to Grandma's empty house. Step 2, he throws on Grandma's shawl as a disguise. And Step 3, he jumps right into the bed and waits. Because Red freely gave up her destination, the wolf was able to completely control the engagement zone before she even got there. Now we get to this tense interrogation sequence, and it just oozes dramatic irony. The wolf is slowly dropping his disguise right in front of her. Red arrives and immediately notices some red flags, but for every observation, the wolf has a sinister justification ready to go. Big arms, all the better to hug you with. Big ears, all the better to hear you with. Big eyes, all the better to see you with. And then she points out his big teeth. He drops the act entirely. All the better to eat you with. He grabs her, proving exactly why engaging with unvetted strangers can literally back you into a deadly corner. But wait, Section 5, the chili pepper counterattack. This is such an unexpected defense. So it turns out, Grandma was not out of the picture. She completely flips the script here. She steps in right in the nick of time, deploying her own tactical deception. She actually pretends she's going to cook her own granddaughter. She tells the hungry wolf, hey, let me put some vegetables in, then you can put her in too. The wolf, totally blinded by his own gluttony, falls for it. But look at what Grandma's actually doing. Those aren't normal vegetables. She is tossing in hot chili peppers, calmly stirring this deceptive, boiling pot of soup with a massive wooden spoon. I absolutely love how this timeline maps out the wolf's total defeat, because it escalates so fast. At T0, the wolf opens his mouth to finally strike. But at T+1, bam! Grandma force-feeds him that scorching hot chili pepper soup. By T+2, the wolf's mouth, tongue, and throat are literally on fire. He's screaming, begging for water. And finally, by T+3, he runs out of the house in complete fiery agony, and they never see him again. The threat is completely neutralized. Let's bring it all together in Section 6, the ultimate lesson, our post-incident analysis. During the aftermath, Grandma asks Red if she's finally learned her lesson, and Red makes two absolute ironclad vows. First, she finally understands the critical importance of operational security. She says, "I'll never speak to strangers again." She gets it now. Her willingness to casually chat is the exact thing that armed the wolf. And second, she vows, "And I'll never eat Grandma's soup," which, is incredibly fair given that Grandma just used it as a chemical weapon against a woodland predator. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to think about your own situational awareness. Ask yourself, are you inadvertently giving away your coordinates to the hungry wolves in your own life? Whether you're making small talk in line for coffee or sharing a bit too much online, always remember the core takeaway from this tactical case study. A friendly conversation with someone unvetted might just be an intelligence gathering mission on their end. So stay secure, guard your coordinates closely, and I will catch you on the next explainer.